What was probably meant to be a joke is actually one of the most inspirational videos I have ever seen. Kenadian is a debunker, meaning he speedruns maps that have been deemed impossible. This all goes back to the idea of the entire purpose of his channel, that being to debunk Minecraft prisons and escape rooms. During the video, it starts out fairly simple: 3 rooms, 3 children, and a flute. However, this challenge is designed to have so many components, it nearly seems impossible to win, at first. However, over the course of the video, all the components are revealed. All out in the open, so many complicated orbitals of ridiculously complicated scenarios. Eventually, it gets back to the point where you have so many components that are just unnecessary, because when you backtrack and directly observe Child 2, that's a component earlier on in the video, the rest of the information is just unnecessary. It is all destroyed. The entire system collapses on itself because most of the pieces in this puzzle just end up conflicting one another, and most of them aren't even useful. This proves that even if you have a pile of puzzles stacked into infinity, all it takes is one component to dismantle it altogether. This principle is observed in the very beginning of the video. Before the challenge becomes unfathomably complex, there were just 3 doors. The challenge creator has created not just one answer, but several. This is because for every stack of variables, there has to be at least one solution. That's not really much of a time limit, so instead of risking your chances of getting the crystal in a 1 in quadrillionth of a chance by going to Child 1, basically the absolute longest route to success possible, why not just spend a few hours learning Morse code, and that way you can understand Child 2, which will allow you to translate between your language and the language of the children. Then you can figure out which of the children always tells the truth, because if you cycle between who's asking and who the truth teller is, and rolling the dice until you roll a 3 or a 6, in which case the truth teller is obvious, and that way you can just tell them to open the door to the crystal, and they'll know. Since the children can ask each other questions, or themselves questions, without having to cycle their truth rolls, they can easily figure that out once you've isolated the truth teller. And that option isn't even the fastest way to get the crystal. Another way to get the flute is to give it to the 3rd child. Since he was able to defeat the monster, as was shown in the video, you can safely entrust the flute to Child 3 and have the other 2 children open their own doors at the same time. Child 1 would open door 1, Child 2 would open door 2, and you could open door 3. Or whichever child gets the crystal can use it to just delete the monsters. Then they can give you the crystal, and since all they want is the flute, you can just make it their incentive to deliver it to you by any means necessary, by telling them that you will give the flute to whoever does get you the crystal. And since the monsters in the video behind each of the doors don't possess evident intelligence, it wouldn't be very difficult to get the crystal. After all, for such a powerful item, even if you simply just guessed, it's still about a 30% success rate. And that's about my analysis of the way, so what's the symbolism in this video that could possibly compare to his actual channel? Well, here's why Minecraft prisons are fundamentally broken. The idea of having infinite resources and being able to generate a structure that is impossible to surpass sounds easy at first. However, there's a few problems with this idea. Firstly, any defense in the game, no matter what the material, can just be bypassed. Most blocks can be broken fairly quickly if you have the proper tool, and blocks that can't be broken or take a really long time to break can be deleted with a simple redstone setup. Ender pearls and rideable entities, such as boats, minecarts, and pigs, horses as well, can be used to glitch through basically any defense, both horizontally and vertically. However, this isn't the biggest problem. The problem with Minecraft prisons is that they're just unfair. The creator of the prison may have unlimited resources, but the players trying to beat the challenge have unlimited time. The creator of the challenge has only one attempt to make it unbeatable. However, the players trying to beat the challenge have unlimited time. To be fair, most of these base creators that have never had any way of creating a base that couldn't be broken into if you had time to analyze the structure, and such as Carves and Wenzo, for example, who create a series of traps and defenses in their bases, which you might all recognize those traps individually, but if you don't know what to do when faced with such a monstrosity, it can be challenging at first. So, for example, when Carves built a base and told someone who'd never seen his build before to get inside, without any more time to analyze the structure or practicing the different skill sets needed to simply ignore all the circulating components and speedrun the course. They just clumsily ran through it, setting off every trap because they didn't know what to do. And if you've already seen those traps, then it's easy to bypass. By showing you how he built each individual trap, you know all the traps that are in the course. So he's basically giving you step-by-step instructions on how to beat the challenge fairly easily. And if you speedrun it, then, well, it gets even easier. It's just the amount of attempts is daunting for any base creator. And Minecraft Escape Rooms, Bases, and Challenges all demonstrate a lesson that show, essentially, the power of one. It only takes one person to create something, but it also only takes one person to completely obliterate it. In this way, Minecraft debunkers are a bit like the press. They look at the facts and expose people who are doing something morally wrong. While looking at all the flaws in a video isn't productive, what is useful about debunkers is that they try to check the power of all the different YouTubers who shamelessly and believing they've actually accomplished something. Now, I do agree that the YouTubers who create content for the sole purpose of stealing people's time in fake escape rooms should be called out on that, but to the debunkers out there, please try to understand that some of those bases are meant to be one-time events that you only have one attempt for, and you don't have any time to analyze the structure, so those bases can really be easily broken into if you know what the traps are, but other than that, they can sometimes be decently difficult.